Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Sevensport. It has been decades since I was last here, and 3 monarchs have come and gone since that time. The city has changed so much, but what it represents has not. The power of House Sevenstar and the fickle Game of Thrones that my family and the High Lords insist on playing. After my father's death, whoever held the city was seen as the rightful heir, and so the War of the Stars raged for the ugly wooden chair that my dear sister Lyanna now sits upon. 3 of my siblings now lie dead in the ground because of the war for that stupid chair. Queen Kyra, who was slain by Tytos in combat, along with her unborn child. Ambrose, who took the name Red Wolf, died in the dungeons of Tytos from his injuries, and Tytos himself, who was executed by the new Queen Lyanna for treason. Tytos, known as the Erenstar, and now remembered as the Terrible. At least that's what they called him now, but if he had won, they'd be kissing his boots. Such is the way of the world. One thing that has not changed, it must be noted, is that my sister, Pia Snow, or Sweetblood, or the Vixen, or whichever colourful monarchier she decides to style herself as these days. She is a hard woman with a stern exterior. I sense that my lack of correspondence and absence from court has offended her. As I walked into the empty sarcophagus that is the Great Hall, I found her seated at the base of the throne. She was sharpening her blade. I opened my arms to her and exclaimed, "Big sister, I've never seen you look so armed. You do realise we are at peace, don't you?" This was met with a cool, piercing stare, and a reply as icy as the wall itself. "For someone so learned, Daemon, you know little of the real world. There has been no true peace since father died." With that, she stalked away. Before she left the hall, she turned to me and said, "And where were you throughout all of it, Daemon? Our siblings bled and died. Did you read of their deaths in your books?" I was taken aback, to be sure. I was clearly making a jape. I will not dwell on it though. She has always been on edge, that one. As I turned back to gaze upon the gnarled and imposing weirwood throne, I heard a shout, "Brother!" It was Benfrey, who has taken the name Highstar and who the small folk call the Just. He was followed by an entourage of men, all waiting for a moment alone with the true power in Andalia, all trying to push their own petty agendas. If you wanted something done, it was Benfrey that men went to see. My brother truly is an extraordinary hand, and by all accounts would have made an exceptional king. If only he had been true born, then thousands of lives could have been spared, our siblings amongst them. Benfrey put his arm around my shoulders and chuckled. "You were always quite the bookworm, weren't you?" Benfrey japes as he playfully tugged at the heavy chain around my neck. "As you know, we are in need of a new Grand Maester here in Sevensport, and so I asked for you specifically, Daemon. I could think of no one better than my own dear brother." I replied quickly with a grin on my face, "But of course, my lord, I am always ready to serve." He was amused by this, I think. He indicated towards a staircase behind and to the left of the imposing throne, and dismissed the gaggle of people behind us. As we made our way up, Benfrey's facade began to slip a little, showing the stress that governing was causing him. The change was almost imperceptible, but I am his brother after all. He took me to my new chambers high in one of the towers of the Wolf's Den, where he updated me on the more worrying matters of the realm. "It's worse than you think, Daemon. The kingdom is on the brink of huge internal conflict. We already have the Rack-Firehand situation, and then Dany's Corbury occurring more and more titles in the Vale. If only I was back in the Eyrie, I might be able to curb his power in some way," he said, frustrated. "And what of our dear sister, the Queen?" I asked naively. "What has she been doing about these situations as you put them?" With a worried look upon his brow, he replied, "She has lost children to the stranger. For someone so pure, she is bereft of the mother's mercy. It is true some call her cursed, others call her the kinslayer for ending the war that took thousands of lives. Every time she rips out one weed, 2 more grow in its place. Do not expect more from her, Daemon. She is distant nowadays. Her last child was taken from her yet again, and I think that has stole the last bit of joy in life from her." He paused, "But seeing you may bring a smile to her face." He gave me another pat upon the shoulder and moved to leave. "We shall talk properly soon. There are matters to attend to. I shall see you at council tomorrow morning, my good brother. Settle in quickly, because in the morning we begin." And with that, Benfrey put a smile back on his face and headed out to deal with the kingdom's troubles. As I sit here writing alone with my thoughts, I think on the troubling state of the land. The city has changed. There are shadows where there were once laughter. I have much work to do. Hello everyone and welcome back to the mighty kingdom of Andalia. Thank you all so much to everyone who said how much they've been enjoying the POVs over the last couple of episodes. I just want to say a massive thank you. Me and the team are so grateful and so happy that you are enjoying them, and hopefully you'll be enjoying the rest of the POVs that are coming up forward, along with the plots and stuff that are planned out depending on how the game goes. So as you guys may remember, at the end of the last episode, Barrington fell to Moribald Rack and his forces, and the Hornwood fell to Harrion Firehand and his forces. And I think we've got 2,000 Royce reinforcements here heading up towards the Firehand army. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going on there. And then down here in the Vale, we have Danes Corbury fighting against his bannerman Damien Shycross. And where it says 5,000 men here, this isn't a Shycross force. Most of them, I believe, are an army of the Fingers. Yeah, only a couple of hundred of those retreating Shycrosses. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there and what Danes Corbury will do with his bannerman. And it's going to be even more interesting to see what happens up here. I think we only have one new custom character this week. So we'll start the episode by showing him off. If I can find him, he's in here somewhere. And then another thing that I have done, here he is, Warren Blackglass. He is a skilled commander, a knight, he's attractive, a skilled fighter, a duelist, diligent, temperate, honourable, wrath, proud, brave, and just. Just a young knight here. I think I've already arranged a marriage for him. I've made him important so that we can keep an eye on him, but that's it for that. And then another thing that I did do was, I just felt like it was such a cool character wasted sitting on Witch Isles. I have moved Damon Snow back to our court, our bastard brother, who is a maester, and he's now our maester, which is going to be awesome to have someone so incredible as our maester, and also so we can get him involved in the story, as I am going to be using him for the history and lore videos as our overview and writer about the Sevenstar history. So right, let's unpause. We're already forwarding along, so we'll see what's going to happen. And there's a marriage for our new character. Perfect. A few things have been sorted out as well. We've sorted some of the border gore down south and fixed some borders, removed bits of Andalia that needed doing. Chris has managed to sort a lot of this out. Put in new sigils for the new lordships, such as the golden Seymour tree here, the green high oak tree, Templeton banner over the Wickenden lands. I think that was most of them, is it? Oh, and then, of course, the lance for House Lancer. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this war is going to go. We know Lyanna is massively depressed. She's lost another child not long ago. Oh, Lord Gilwood of House Clifton has died of cancer at the age of 67. But the house is pretty secure, so that is fine. But yeah, Lyanna's not doing much at the moment other than being massively depressed and stressed. Her husband doesn't love her anymore. She's suffered the loss of 5 children. Now the fact that her husband doesn't like her, I don't know if to become celibate or not. We do lose prestige by doing that, so I'm not sure whether we should do that or not just yet. Okay, so the Firehand forces are now marching west on to Barrington. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to take the war to the racks. And yeah, as we can see, we've got 7,700 Corbury men, and the 1,000 Shycross men look like they're going to retreat back to their own lands and try and hold off Danes' advance. I'm excited and also nervous about what he is going to do to his bannerman Damien Shycross. What will Danes do to punish him for rebelling? Then again, I think he did try and imprison him, and that's why he is rebelling. I'm pretty sure it was something like that anyway. So the Rack army is deciding to stay tucked up in Barrington, but it looks like the Firehand army is marching west. Now, are these Royces going to join them, or are they going to go and march off and start sieging stuff in the east? Who knows? There's not a lot of other stuff we can do. We'll speed up just so we can get them to the point a little bit quicker and see what's going to happen. Harbert Josso. Sir Harbert Josso died at the age of 22 of cancer. Wow, cancer seems to be going around a lot. And that was... Oh, wow. Is that her son and heir? Oh, we just have a sibling. So who's her new heir now? Just a young girl, Victoria Josso, who is slow. Oh, nice. So it looks like the Josso lands of Whitford are not in good hands for the future. Septon Going of Snow reports that he's happy with our charity work, which is good. That's great to hear. Still making a hell of a lot of money, more money than we've got to anything to do with. We've done a lot of upgrades, we've got a lot of stuff building at the present as well, so there's not much we can do with that money. We could send it out to some vassals, try and get some people on side, and the Royce army has gone somewhere completely different. It doesn't look like they're going to be joining the Firehand army, which could be very interesting in this battle. This battle could be very, very close once it happens. Your Grace, for some time now I have been in the employ of Lord John, but now I seek a better station. I humbly request to join you in Sevensport, so that I may serve you. All I ask is, in for a return, is a small recompense. Let's have a look at you then. You're a bastard, you're a skilled fighter, you're a knight, you're dishonourable, shy, gluttonous, ambitious, cruel, and ruthless. I don't think we need somebody like you, so I'm okay. We've got quite enough knights and courtiers at present. Money is still flying up. Right. Now this is going to be interesting. What is going to happen? They've got about 4,000 more men, the Firehands, but they are going to be attacking them. So will the Racks get a bonus? Maybe. Your bannerman, Lord Damien Shycross, has been captured by Lord Daney's corporate of the Fingers and taken to Heartsholme as a prisoner. Right, so this is going to be interesting to see what he does with Lord Damien the Lawgiver. His son, Sir Bellius Shycross, is also imprisoned by Lord Daney's the Wise, so it's not his heir. His heir is obviously Donico, who is in our court. And then his daughter is married to Lord Templeton, I believe. Yes, it is. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does do with Damien Shycross. I don't think there's anything we can really do. We're just observing as Lyanna. Lyanna's not the best queen, is she, to be honest, at present. And the Rack army is retreating. Damien, the Lawgiver, accepted Lord Daney's the Wise's peace offer. Okay, so that's the war ended down south. What's he going to do with him now? At age 51, your rival, Harrion Salzard, died a natural death. Now, is that the guy who was plotting to kill us? I think he was, which could be very good for us. That now means that the plot to kill us has gone. Perfect. Yeah, we can call our court out of hiding now then. Perfect. Now that he's dead, yeah, so the Rack army is retreating. Unless they're going to catch them in time. Okay, more stuff about our charity work, which is good. The Rack army do look like them. So if they lift the siege on Barrington, that's going to put the Firehands in a very good position. And they're going to be able to replenish their armies as well. As we can see, they already are. No, don't want any Dragon Riders. But yeah, if they can lift the siege on Barrington, they're going to be able to replenish their armour. They're going to get a lot of war score in their favour. The Royces are... I don't know what this small Royce army over here is doing, to be honest. Our Master of Coin is currently idle. Can we get you to collect taxes in Sevensport then, Danes, please? Make us a bit more money. Not much else that's going on. At the age of 61, your subject, Grim Irontide, died of cancer. My god, that's 3 characters at the beginning of this episode already that have died of cancer. And Ozamira of Wickham, nothing to do with us, died of gout. Oh no, the Firehand army has lifted the siege, and Arlen Josso has died at the age of 43 from too much drinking. That was obviously Kyra's old husband. I'm not surprised he drank. He must have been incredibly depressed after losing his child, his wife, and his unborn child. Who was he married to in the end? Oh, just some random Andal North woman. Okay, right, what's going to happen here? I'm starting to think that Sir John might fancy me. Sir John Hornbreaker. It's not appropriate. We're not going to be making any moves with courtiers. Lady Marge has voted against levy-focused noble obligations due to the returning favour to Lord Alec. Nothing too important for us to worry about. Your Grace, I've been instructing young Lister in the ways of sword and lance as requested. I'm pleased to say he appears to be a natural. His martial prowess has improved greatly over recent weeks. Oh, nice. Prince Lister is now a poor fighter at the age of 8. Awesome. And he's got a faith education as well, so that's interesting that he's going to be able to become a decent fighter. Master of Laws, Lord Yorick, is doing a superb job. I'm having trouble with a town and a castle in Sevensport, and I shall of course send my Master of Laws, Lord Yorick, to try and increase the relation between them and us. Let's send him to the town, get our city vassals' opinions higher. We nearly got 2,000 gold, which is insane. And now that Royce army and Firehand army are going to join together, and it looks like they're going to chase down that Rack host. Having a curvier body might have been fun at first, but now I have become the laughingstock of the whole court. No decent dress fits me, and every child in Sevensport sings songs about the thunderous thighs and gigantic belly of their queen. I need a diet. Yes, let's go on a diet then. I am finally back in shape. I have lost the fat trait. Oh, nice. Lyanna has now lost her weight. God, she looks so rough, though, doesn't she, compared to how fair she used to look. She still obviously has the fair trait, but then again, she is depressed and stressed, which isn't... That can't be good for her health. Let's just hope that she doesn't die. A wild dragon is known to attack smaller dragons, and it has been reported that recently he emerged from his lair near Hesh. Well, no, that's nothing to do with us, is it? I was worried then that it might be somewhere close by, but it doesn't seem that it is. Where are these going to march on to now? They just seem to be playing a game of cat and mouse at the minute. 15,000 firehands chasing down those racks. Oh, wow, there's 2,000 firehand men here. Where have they just come from? Oh, they've split away, okay. Lord Damien, the lawgiver, ransomed Lady Serene from the clutches of Lord Danes the Wise. Okay, so he's ransomed one of his family members. So it doesn't look like Danes is going to do anything with him at present. He's not done anything with him yet, which is interesting. What do you have in your treasury? History of the Roynish Wars, okay. Have the Roynish Wars even happened yet? Sir Madden of Sevenstar has provided me with proof that someone, who I never told you, has been viciously slandering me with how should I use this information? Byron Firehand? No, we'll keep it to ourselves for now. We could do without any more drama. Lord Offen of Oldcastle is inherited Lordship of Oldcastle from Jonas. Okay, so how did you die? Died under suspicious circumstances. Lord Jonas Bloom, interested, the husband of Della Highstar. And your son is inherited, who is inbred. Really? Is he inbred? Oh, it's not really our cousin and our niece. I suppose he is a bit. Oh my god, the Lord of Oldcastle. The Lord Bloom is inbred. Nice. Very nice. I wonder who killed him. Why couldn't the Bloom lands go to Lord Jonas's brother instead? Who was Lyanna's ward at some point. Where is he? There he is. Sir Ermund Bloom, who is a genius and very impressive. He's married to a firehand bastard who's, wow, a lot older than him. He hasn't had any children yet either, so that's a shame. What is going to go on here? Where are they marching off to now? This is becoming a long, drawn-out war. Just watching the AI fight the AI, with how stupid it can be. There's not much going on down south either. The Westerlands and Stormlands seem to be at peace. Dawn is at peace. The north is at peace, and now the Racks have managed to trap that small firehand army that seemed to march off for no reason. Lord Salmon of the Farthest Field has used a favour on Sir Madden of Sevenstar to force them to join their factions, okay. The alliance between Lord Yorick and Lord Alec has broken down. Lord Alec Wainwood and Lord Yorick of Redfort, okay, yeah, that's interesting. He died under suspicious circumstances. Right, there's a lot of people in the Vale dying of late. Who is the new Lord? Lord Carl of Iron Oaks, who's just, kind, temperate, proud, a poor fighter. Nothing too impressive about him then, which is interesting. Okay, so no idea what's going on between the Firehands and Rats and where they're marching. They're just marching in completely different and odd directions. So we'll forward things along and see what is going to happen between them. Riding through the countryside together with my escort, I come upon a lonely inn. It is empty aside from a nervous-looking innkeep. Oh god, this is going to be an attempt on our life. Who nevertheless promises food and wine at a very reasonable price. My party and I sit down at a table. Innkeeper, bring us the best you have to offer. Okay, soon after the innkeep disappears into the kitchen, we notice a foul odour emanating from somewhere below the floorboards. One of my escorts pulls open a loose board to reveal a massive manure pit. Before we can react further to this bizarre find, the floor explodes beneath my feet. Kaboom! Queen Lyanna dies. Okay. I did not expect that to happen anytime soon. Queen Lyanna has taken her last breath at the age of 38. She died under suspicious circumstances. Never one to question her position, Lyanna died content, assured of the grace of the gods. High King Lister, merely 8 years old, the realm is left in the capable hands of the Regents and Council. Long live High King Lister. Okay, well this is not good. And it seems like everyone's got a very bad opinion of Lister as well. My god, we've got a lot to go through here now then. You have a new heir. If your character dies now, you'll play as Prince Engar of Andalia. May live in harmony and contentment. I've been appointed as your regent, Lord Benfrey the Just, so we'll play now as if we are Benfrey for now. Your mother, Queen Lyanna Sevenstar, has died, and now it falls to you to decide whether to make the funeral a big and special event, or just keep it a small and private one. She deserves to be honoured with a funeral. And all the lords and ladies of the realm shall be invited. All hail his grace, list of the House Sevenstar, the first of his name, High King of Mountain in Vale and Lord of Sevensport, Guardian of the Bloody Gate and Protector of the Realm. All hail his grace, Lister of House Sevenstar, the first of his name, since the Grey King, King of Salt and Rock, Son of the Sea, Wind, Lord Reaper of Sevensport, Protector of the Iron Isles. So we've inherited all that stuff. It seems like a lot of people have a bad opinion of us as well, which is not good. What do we have? Okay, so we've got a Tyrannal Stain, which is not good, but we're temperate, kind, a poor fighter, brooding, and an idolizer. 5 learning and 5 stewardship, not bad for diplomacy, so we're pretty decent, to be fair. Our regent is Lord Benfrey. Our heir is Prince Engar, who is cynical and has 5 intrigue. Very interesting. Okay. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to sort out. We've got open council positions, apparently. We've got quite a few open council positions, in fact. We need a new Master at Arms. Why? What happened to Pia? No, Pia's still here. Who is our best martial character? Let's have a look at our council. Can we resign Benfrey from Master of Ships? We can. Let's fire count. It's so annoying that you have to fire him. It's like, no, I just want to make you have a different position. But we'll make our Master at Arms Lord Benfrey of the Lance, whose marshal's gone down to 34. So his marshal has gone down. I wonder why. That's interesting. And let's get him to train the children, because that would be awesome to get if we're getting our sons trained by Benfrey Lancer. We need a maester. Of course, it's going to be Damon. Can you serve the court, dear uncle? I suppose you'd be, wouldn't you? And we've got some other positions. We need a High Admiral. We could go for Earl Ironside, but we could go for Botley, who, well, neither of them seem to like us very much. We've got John Farwin. Oh, God. We don't really have anyone, do we? We'll go with Quentin Botley, as he is in our court advisor. We will go for Maynard Greystark. And, who else have we got that's would be a good choice? Have we got anyone that actually likes us? Everyone seems to hate us. We have our father, Ambrose. We have Joe Iraq. Joe Iraq could be a good option. We have our... Wow, Sybil Stark is still alive at the age of 62. Not really many options. I may go with Joe. We'll go with our father for now. Why not? Is there any minor titles that need handing out? I don't think there's any that need handing out at present, is there? No, they're all full. We've got a room for a commander. We'll go for Nana Harlaw. Oh, no. We'll go with Pia Snow. Well, Pia Sweetblood, as she likes to be called now, but it's not good that so many people dislike us. The council is in discontent. We've got no loyalists on the council, which is not good. We do have a Crown Loyalist faction still, at least. As I rose from bed, I found a small bundle of documents that had been slipped beneath my bedroom door. The documents contained evidence of Lord Vardis' plan to depose me and seize the throne. Lord Vardis Grafton. Okay. We'll do nothing for now. But at least the Crown Loyalists are still there. The Erenstars are popping up. Lady Marge for Andalia. Okay. Interesting. The invitations have been sent to the lords and ladies of the realm to come to the funeral, which is time to prepare for the feast and funeral itself. This is actually our first king since Engar II as well, so it's been a long time coming. The war is still raging on. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what food stuff to serve. We'll spend lavishly on food. I don't care about dragons. Don't matter who we're going to be playing as. We do not care about dragons in the slightest. Our sister is nearly of age as well. Okay, Lord Damien the Lawgiver ransomed somebody else from the clutches of Dane as well. So it looks like he's trying to ransom all of his prisoners just to make a little bit more money. How is our sister, Princess Kyra, getting on? She's 14, so she's nearly ready for a marriage. She has a weak claim on the High Lordship of Old Town. How did you gain that? Strong claim on the Kingdom of Andalia. Oh, I think we had it before, didn't we? My liege, my work in Red Forks needs to come to fruition. No, let it go. You shouldn't even be down there anymore. Why are you still down there? Let's get you to improve diplomatic relations with... Who out of our vassals dislikes us the most? Lord Greyjoy. Let's send you to the Isles then and get you to try and improve diplomatic relationships with the Iron Isles. Why not? Try and keep them at peace, as we're going to end up with having some civil wars. How many men can we command? 32,000. My God, that is literally nothing at all. All of the guests have arrived in Sevensport. It is now time to start the feast and to celebrate the life of Queen Lyanna Sevenstar. And I think we'll go for our mid-POV as well whilst we're at it. The day of the funeral had dawned upon Andalia. Today was a day of mourning. Today, those closest to Queen Lyanna would pay their utmost respect and offer their deepest condolences. The aesthetics of the sept where she lay were beautiful. His sister now laid surrounded by winter roses, which were both freshly perfumed and fragrant. The Sevenstar banner lay draped across her. Silence befell the room. Before her funeral, Benfrey found himself rested against her dais at the altar of the sept, his head firmly cradled between his hands. He took a deep breath and sighed. "Oh, why is my family so cursed with loss?" he uttered, a deep sadness in his voice. He took a moment to gaze upon his sister one last time, his mind reminiscent of happier and better times. He was completely overwhelmed with emotion. He remembered when the news first reached him. The heavy sensation in the pit of his stomach consumed him both body and soul. The sheer devastation of the loss of yet another sibling was a bitter pill to swallow. Death was not kind. He believed since the death of Harry and Salazar the plot for the Queen's assassination had then died along with him. But he was sadly mistaken, and now his sister was gone. In this desperate time he searched for wisdom and guidance from the Seven. He looked to the crone for wisdom, as in this dark time he needed a bright light to guide him through. He looked to the smith for strength. Strength to now help him overcome the loss of his queen, his sister. But most importantly, the strength to help his nephew, the newly appointed adolescent King Lord Sevenstar, reclaim the kingdom and to purge it of all those who polluted its inner circles. With loyalists now distancing themselves from the crown, Benfrey needed all the help he could get, as well as people he could trust. He had plans to cleanse the council and purge it of all manners of ambitious and disloyal lords, and replace them with lords and knights loyal to the Sevenstars and their young king. Okay, and we're back. Everyone drank and were happy except Sir Benjicott Sevenstar, who refused more wine. This insulting gesture means that he does not appreciate my hospitality. How dare Sir Benjicott insult me, our uncle? We've got one child lacking an education focus, Princess Alice. Let's have a look at you. You're very martial based as well. Let's go for struggle, pride. Let's go for pride. Why not? And that means we need to get you an educator now. Maester Damon's your current educator. But let's ward you out. Let's assign a guardian. Someone with some decent martial somewhere. Obviously not an Ironborn. I think Pia already has... No, Pia doesn't. Yeah, I think Pia has our second daughter, actually. So let's send you to... Who could we send you to? There's not very many options, to be honest. I'd like to send you to someone different, but I don't really know who. We'll just send you to Pia Snow as well then, why not? You can be fostered by your aunt. Let's forward things along. The Firehand host is now closing in on Barrington. The more yeaty-ish golden wine Lord Vardish drank, the more and louder he talked and laughed until he let out a loud snoring and fell face first into his plate. The servants discreetly removed Lord Vardish from the table and took him to a bedchamber. That's disgusting. As the feast begins, Lord Albert Vipern presented a petition before the court. He says that crime and banditry in the Red Fork is an increasing threat and that the local sheriffs cannot obtain the problem. Fine, we'll send Lord Benfrey to deal with this problem. You committed much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed with the large centrepiece on the dais. It represented a green lawn surrounded with large peacocks' feathers and green branches to which were tied violets and other sweet-smelling flowers. In the middle of this fortress was placed, covered with silver. The fortress was hollow and formed a sort of cage in which several live birds were shut up, their tufts and feet being gilt. On its tower, which was gilt with the banners of House Sevenstar, were placed. It was worth the coin, 30 prestige. Sir Byron Firehand has used his attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present petition for justice before the court. He claims that Sir Madam Redguard sullied his honour by having illicit relationships with his wife behind his back. I'm pretty sure you was having... What? Hang on a minute. Is she married to both of... Oh, okay. I am fine. Ah, right, okay. So her son is... Yeah, well, that is true. Order him to pay recompense. He must be arrested and made to answer for his crime. No, we'll order him to pay recompense. Okay, I got it mixed up the wrong way around, it would seem. Some of my guests did not seem satisfied with the food, but I would never have thought that one of them would have complained out loud. Sir Benjicott said a lot of nasty stuff about the food, and I couldn't help but feel irritated. Lord Benfrey organised a group of men to tackle the bandits and rogues in Redfork. He successfully captured or killed many prominent criminals and publicly handed them as an example to the others. The problem has now been stamped out, and Lord Albert is satisfied. Perfect. We're actually going to have a proper regency then. Well, unless Lister ends up with the same problem that we had with, what was her name? Jonquil, who lasted about a year. Summer is nearly at an end, and so autumn and the harvest is upon us. The feasting shall celebrate this time with food from throughout Andalia, including boar, gooseberry, salmon, and lobster brought to Sevensport. As part of this, you must decide how much of the harvest is to be set aside for winter. A large proportion, just in case. You never know what sort of winter you're going to get in the north. So a lot of our money now disappeared. I don't care about dragons. As the Silent Sisters finish the preparations of the deceased, the body of Queen Lyanna is brought to the local sept and laid atop the altar at its centre. Canopic jars of Orient design are placed at the feet of the dead, and the eldest child places the death stones upon the closed eyes of the deceased. One by one, those closest to the departed in life make their way into the sept and speak their goodbyes, shed their mournful tears, and pray to the Seven for the dead. As the day winds down and the last goodbye is said, the body is carried by kin along the crowd-lined streets to its final resting place. As the sun fades away, a great feast is held, and those who knew the dead recount stories of the life and deeds of the lost. And so it is done. We gain 40 piety for that, which is awesome. So now that's 4 monarchs in a row that have been murdered. This past month, your bannerman, Lord Earl Ironside, has been organising a reaving. A reaving, he has announced, will target the seas of the disputed lands. He and his fellow reavers are now ready and have set sail from Old Wick on their quest to follow the old way. Let them go as long as they don't molest my lands. Yeah, do what you want. As long as you're not molesting Andalia, that's fine. The Firehand army of 15,000 is now marching onto the racks. Are they going to catch them this time? Who knows? There's 1,000 Firehands chasing them as well. Lord Maynard, the Skin Changer, used a favour on Lord John of Great Wick to force them to join all their factions. What faction has he got going? Independence. Okay, interesting. Lord Maynard wants independence. Liza Steelheart died a sickly infant. She was sickly and hunchback. It's a shame. There's a lot of kids dying lately. And Edmure Tollet died a natural death. Okay, that's interesting. The Greystarks have started an independence faction. Lady Alyssane Redwolf is trying to go for Andalia. The Erenstars are trying to go for Andalia, but thankfully Benfrey Lancer is still leading this Crown Loyalist faction. Are we going to finally have a battle? No, it looks like they're marching away again. Lord Maynard, the Skin Changer, used a favour on Lady Ricer of the Sisters to make them join all their factions, so he's getting a bit of power in that independence faction. That's 2 people he's forced to join. And yeah, they have got away again. Formidable defences have now been built in the Wolf's Den. At 33, your subject, Alira Saldoris, died of pneumonia. Who was she married to? Lord Creed, okay. Moribald seems very nice. Maybe I should ask if he wants to play. Moribald? Is Moribald... Moribald Rack. Yeah, okay. I'll wait a little. He could come to me. General opinion +4 may lead to timid. Yes, we should play. We become close friends. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a friend. That's perfect. At least he's now got a friend who is Moribald Rat. And they've managed to capture a small army here. The army of the Cape of Eagles. Whatever the hell that's doing up here. No idea. At least we have a friend now. Oh, we've got 2 friends. Moribald Rack and Lucius Malister, who is slow. But at least we've got 2 friends. Do we have anything else? Any rivals? We do have a rival. Roman Sevenstar, who is our cousin, I believe, isn't he? Yes, he is. Okay, so we've got a rivalry and friends. But he's got a rivalry with Malister as well. Okay, but at least we've got some friends. That's good. It's good for the future of Andalia. This war is just a game of cat and mouse. They're just constantly chasing each other for no reason at all. I don't care about dragons in the slightest, I'm afraid. Septon Garwin is no longer Septon for High King Lister. He must have passed away then, so we're going to need a new Septon, it would seem. Let's have a look. Open council positions. Yes, a priest. Who do we have? We have Wayne of the Crossfort and Theobald of Snow. Which one's better? The top guy's better, so we'll go with him for the priest of Andalia. Your Grace, your sister, Princess Kyra, is responding very well to my tuition. She has improved her skills and is advancing her knowledge every day. Princess Kyra, and wow, she's now got her adult picture, and she is red-headed, just like her mother, Lyanna, and she's got the attractive ratio. She's very similar to Lyanna. Wow, her stewardship has just jumped up massively. Why has it done that? Humble, temperate, trusting, content. Okay, so that's just magically shot up. She's got a couple of friends as well. Sybil Stark, her grandmother. Interesting. It's a shame that her education focus is that now. Can we not change it to stewardship instead? No, we can't change it when set. That's a shame because she was very martial based before, but never mind. That's interesting. It's nice that she looks like that. Dinah Greenstar died after a disagreement with Emil. It's strange that Sevenstars now seem to be red-headed rather than blonde like how they used to be. I wonder what Lister will look like. Who's the next child to age up? It is Princess Rennie, who is 11. She's still, well, not really. She's pretty all-rounded, to be honest, other than in diplomacy, so it'll be interesting to see what she ends up like. You're not doing anything. Can we get you to perform charity in Sevensport for now, then? And the Rack Army is now marching back west. Oh my god, this is infuriating to watch. The AI just randomly marching around, doing very little. Your Septon Wayne of the Crossfort reports that Master Quent of Goldenfield has been humbled by your endless generosities to the poor. Perfect, that is basically the slums. And Angus Sevenstar, our cousin, is now 12. What education would we like to go for? He's a squire, trained fighter, rowdy and curious. Very good learning, very good stewardship. Well, he's got the rowdy trait, so we'll go for the martial education. Let's get you a guardian. Assign guardian. Somebody with decent martial. There isn't really anybody with decent martial in our court that we can send you to. Never mind. We'll leave that for now, then. Lord Offer of Pike has inherited Castle of Cod Hall from Master Giles of Cod Hall. Okay, nothing too exciting. Lord Maynard the Skin Changer used a favour on Lord Yorick the Candid to force him to join all their factions. Okay, he's getting a lot of power in that Independence faction. For a Craven, anyway, who didn't even join his father-in-law's war. That's interesting that he's now amassing so much power. At the age of 39, your subject Barth was beheaded on the orders of Lord Edrin of Breakstone. That means nothing to us, does it really, to be honest? And the Baraton has fallen again. Why not just chase the army down? Can we get these guys to just fight? This war is going to last for years and years and years at this rate. Lady Cat of the Father's Field has inherited Lordship of Sevensguard and other titles from Sir Madden of Sevensguard. So what did he die of? He died of severe stress at the age of 56. Okay. Be interesting to see who she puts in control of Sevensguard. At a meeting of your Regency Council, Lord Maynard Greystark's position on the council was put under question. Quentin Botley called a vote to have him removed, a vote which passed. Lord Maynard has been fired as a result. Removing Lord Maynard Greystark from the council has angered those in your court who supported his membership. Well, that's not my fault, is it? I can't help that. We need a new advisor now. Who can we go for? Who's got a good opinion of us? Let's go with Joe Iraq then, why not? Who is now aged up to 32. Wow, he's got a nasty scar across his face. And he's caught gonorrhea. Of course he has, because everyone has gonorrhea in Andalia. I can't believe he's 32. How much time has passed? News from Valyria. Yeah, I don't really care about what's happening in Valyria. I just want to forward things along and get this war finished out of the way. Cass Firehand has transferred the vassal contract of Rodwell Goldfallow, whoever he is, not sure who he is, to Edwin Silvereye. Okay. Lady Cass of the Father Fields has transferred the value. Yeah, we've just read about that. I wonder if maybe she's built a new castle or city or something somewhere. Guard stations have been built in the Crossfort. Nice. Right, so they're finally marching west. Will they be able to catch the Rack Army this time? I hope so, because this is just taking forever. Lord Ragnar of the Seastone Isles inherited the High Lordship of Seastone Isles and other titles from Lord Errol the Monstrous. Interesting. So let's have a look at him. Lord Ragnar, he's got gonorrhea at the age of 9. Nice. He's also a child of a concubine. Okay, whatever. And the Firehands have just called up 3,000 men from Sevensguard. I'm guessing that's because she's got it as her. Oh no, she has landed someone there. Sir Hugo of Sevensguard. Hugo Folman. No idea who this guy is. He is married. Oh no, he was married to a Sunderland, which is interesting. Very interesting. Okay, something random happened down south. Are they going to catch the Racks this time? No, the Racks are going to escape again, and it's just another game of rinse and repeat constantly in this war. I wish they'd just face each other in the field. They've lifted the siege by the looks of it, yes, and now they're going to follow them again and not be able to catch them, because that's what's happened about 4 or 5 times now. Oh no, the Rack Army has decided to march on to Rillwater Crossing this time, so maybe they'll catch them this time, and battle will ensue. Let's get ready. It looks like we're finally going to have the battle take place. Let's see what happens. At the age of 38, your acquaintance died of poor health. Yeah, it's no one of importance. And the army have met, and it looks like a crushing victory for the Firehands. My liege, very soon the scheming Lady Cass of the Farthest Fields will make accusations against me. Do not believe a word of it. She hates me and lacks all honour and decency. Your faithful vassal, Lord Darnold Crownless. Okay. My liege, it pains me to say that there is a traitor in the realm, and this rotten egg is plotting your downfall. I enclose the damning evidence with this letter. Your loyal servant, Lady Cass Firehand. Minus 59 opinion of hers. What's Donald's opinion? Minus 25. I don't really think either evidence. This is nonsense. Lady Cass's opinion of High King Lister changes. Marshal, fetch me the traitor. Lord Darnold Crownless' opinion of you changes by 25. I can't see Darnold Crownless doing something like that. There must be some sort of mix-up. We'll go against it for now. And there we go, that was a crushing victory. At age 66, your subject, Theo Greencliff, died in the dungeons of Lord Moribald of the Warrior's Way. So Cass Firehand's husband has died in the dungeons of Moribald Rack. My liege, I've tried to make Lord Yon of Ironholt realise what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are, but sinister forces at this court have made it hard work to discredit my every move and distort my every word. I'm afraid that in the end, the visit seems to have done no more harm than good. Well, that is a shame. But the Rack army was crushed there. They've lost over half of their men by the looks of it. Well, around that. Lord Yorick Templeton has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in the aid of Andalia. It would be seen as a right and honourable cause to reward him with certain incomes and grants, so to foster greater loyalty. Yeah, let's send him a reward. That was a big reward. Samuel Richards has had consideration of history removed from their treasury. Has he died? No, he's not died. Maybe he's just given it away then. Let's forward things along further. Try and get this war finished. You'd think the Firehands are probably going to win this now, with the fact they've got 18,000 against 3,000. Let's have a look. How is the war going? It's 90% in favour of Lady Cass of the Farthest Fields. And we've got a dangerous faction, which is Crown... No, it's not Crown Loyalists. Elective succession in Mountain and Vale. Lord Danes the Wise. Very clever, Danes. Very clever. And the Snowfalls are going against us yet again. We really need to assert some power. Who is in our Crown Loyalist? Not many now. Benfrey Lancer, Lord Vardis Grafton, and Benfrey the Just. That's it. We don't have many people in that. And that is very worrying by Danes Corbury. And Lord Greyjoy is backing that. Interesting. 9,000 men. How many men do we now control? 34,000. It's not a great amount of men, is it, to be honest? My liege, I believe that one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with conspirational factions if the proper leverage is obtained. Obligate the vassal. Ask politely. Who is it? Danes. Obligate the vassal. We've got to remember now that Benfrey Highstar would be making these decisions. Honoured High King, do not speak to me of obligations and duties. I may be your vassal, but that does not make me your slave. I am well within my right to associate with whichever factions I wish. Signed, Lord Danes of the Fingers. Lady Tanda of the Pebble used a favour on Lord Leopold the Spider to force them to join their factions. Okay, I'm getting a bit worried now that some proper stuff's kicking off. Lord Byron of Tumblestone has formed an alliance with Lord Belgrave the Pegleg. Interesting yet again. And we've got another dangerous faction, it would seem. Which one is it this time? Crown Loyalist has improved. Lord Kristen Creed has joined the Crown Loyalist, so that's nice. Who else? What's the dangerous faction then? It's not the Independence one. 70%. It's still that Danes Corbury one. No, it's only that one. So it must have popped off and now popped back on. Okay. And we've got one child lacking in education. Princess Rennie. We'll go with Marshall for you, I think. Oh, then again, it says you've got better traits for other stuff. You've got very good stewardship and you've got 2 traits for the stewardship education. So we'll go with that. We're probably better off leaving you with Damon Snow, to be honest, then, as your educator. I'm pretty sure he'll make you into anything good that you want to be. And Roman Sevenstar, our cousin, also our rival. He's very good at intrigue, so we'll be better off going with a different one, to be honest. We've got more traits for other stuff, but your intrigue's the best, so we'll go with intrigue for you. We can maybe make you into a decent future spy master or something. Let's have a look. Do we have anyone with decent intrigue that can take you on? Lady Cass Firehand. Perfect. Who else? Of course. At the age of 1, your subject, Marjorie Greenstar, died a sickly infant. That's a shame. She was inbred as well, though. A lot of inbred going around at the moment, which is worrying. We really need to branch out with some of these future marriages. Literally everybody in Andalia seems to be inbred. And the armies have now split in half. 18,000, 10,000 one way, 8,000 another way. Lady Lyanna Redguard died of severe stress. Her heir is Sir Bendor of the Cape of Eagles, who's now Coldwater. So Cape of Eagles is now ruled over by the Coldwaters, which is interesting. We could probably do with giving one of their titles away to the Redguards, so the Redguards don't lose their land. And Prince Enga, our younger brother, is lacking a focus. Oh, I really don't know what to go with for you. What would be good to go with for you? You're cynical. Very good intrigue. Haughty and brooding, rowdy and willful. I'm not sure what to go with for you. Your grace, I've collected an ample tax revenue in Sevensport. The money should reach you together with this letter. 124 gold. Thank you, Benfrey Highstar. That'll be put to good use. We're going to have to do... I think we're going to have to do a bit of bribing, to be honest. We need to get people on side. Let's try and get the Firehands on side then. Let's send you a little gift. We're going to have to send quite a few of these. We'll let things tick along a little bit faster. Let's send something to you as well. We're going to have to send out gifts to a lot of our vassals. We need to try and get some of them on side. Lord Creed likes us already, so let's try and get him even more on side. We've done the barrage. Let's get some of the usual loyalists on side. The Jossos, the Rosehearts, and the Blooms. We can also offer non-aggression packs of a couple of these. With the Blooms, we can, so let's do that. Yes. Can we do this with any of the other houses? No. We really do need to improve things in this department. Master of Coin, Lord Danis has been hard at work in the Crossfort, increasing infrastructure. Perfect. Lady Tanda of the Pebble, ransomed Lady Tanda. Okay. Let's send the Greystarks a bit of cash. Let's try and get them on side a little bit more. It's going to cost us a lot of money. Moribald Rack, we can offer him a non-aggression pack, but he's not interested. Benfrey Lancer, who, wow, even Benfrey Lancer's now 30. Let's try and get him on side a little bit more. Wow, he's got a Summer Island child, a Valyrian child. Interesting. The Reeds, we just need to get anyone on side that we can. Benfrey, let's try and keep the loyal people on side. Benfrey, oh my god, 333 gold to increase Benfrey's opinion of us. He's got a good enough opinion already. I think we'll give that a miss. What about Lady Belmore? She's a high lady in her own right. So we can get her on side a little bit more. The Red Forts are still independent away from Danes. We'll go for the Lords who aren't under Danes' influence just yet. Try and get them on side. The Royces, who is our cousin, let's get them on side. Graftons seem to have a good opinion of us. My god, this is going to cost us a lot of money, but it should be worth it. Lord Templeton as well, let's send you a bit of dough. Lord Seymour, my god, we're just going to send it to all of our High Lords down here and try and improve our opinions of each of our Alisane. Red Wolf, let's get you in a better opinion, and Dondarian as well. I'm not even going to bother with the Iron Islands. We know they hate us, so what's the point? I doubt there's anything we can do with the Starks. No. Can we get a non-aggression pack with the Firehands? No. Who do we actually have direct marriages to? We need to probably marry off and betroth some of our siblings, don't we, in the next episode, just to improve relations. Especially now that Kyra is old enough to marry off. I just want to get this war finally over with, which is taking forever, so that it's finally done. They're at 90%. I think one more siege would end it. Bless upon you in your house. Our Lord Offen of Oldcastle accepts your proposal for a non-aggression pact. He's the inbred guy, isn't he? Yes, he is. My god, he's going to be absolutely terrible with that inbred trait. And we've got, like, literally no money whatsoever now. But hopefully that has improved people's opinions of us and increased our army size. Wow, yes. Just by sending out those gifts, it's increased our army size by 20,000. So it was well worth it. We earned a lot of money. Look, we're already earning money again. So it was well worth... Look at that. We earned so much gold. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so it's well worth trying to bribe some of our vassals. 20,000 extra men will make all the difference against the likes of Danes Corbury. The Racks are going to get the Father's Fields under siege, but it looks like the Hornwood is also under siege. Bannon Anvil died stillborn. I don't care about dragons. I don't think we're going to be able to get to end this war in this episode, are we? What's the war currently at? It's at... Oh, Moribald now got... Oh, it just went to 100% and then dropped to 83 because Father's Fields fell just in time. Roderick Mudd died of poor health. He's not the Mudd in our kingdom anyway. He's one of the Mudds from the rivers. My liege, I believe that one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with factions. I'm not going to ask politely. Obligating the vassal, it's a Greyjoy. That probably isn't going to work either. He is honourable, though, so let's ask politely and see what we can do. Thank you for reminding me of my duties and obligations as your vassal. You were right, of course. For the foreseeable future, you have my promise not to support factions. Perfect, because he was in the Danes Corbury faction, so at least we've now removed him from that. Lord Horace of Newkeep used a favour on Lord Carl of the Iron Oaks to force them to join all their factions. Do you know what? I don't think... Damien Shycross is still imprisoned. I don't think we're going to be able to end this war anytime soon in this episode, so we're probably going to have to end this episode here and finish that in the next episode. A lot of exciting stuff, though. Another monarch murdered. That seems to be a trend at the moment with Sevenstars. But yeah, we have King Lister, first of his name now, the 10-year-old boy king. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, please don't forget to like and comment down below, as well as subscribe if you haven't already and you enjoy. I'm guessing if you watched all the end of this, all the way to the end of this video, or you've got this far in the series, you must be enjoying, surely. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure that you do. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to stick around for the MPOV, and I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of the Knights of Andalia. The Queen was dead, which gave Danes a sense of relief, but also made it necessary for his plans to now change. Although Lyanna had been weak-willed and ineffectual in controlling the realm, she was loved by many of her lords, and they were ferociously loyal to her. Many of those lords did not seem so eager to support her young son with Benfrey Snow as his regent. Many others, such as the Erenstars, Boltons, and the troublesome Ironborn, would now be licking their lips at the sight of such a fractured and broken realm. Danes found himself in a very favourable position. He was one of the strongest lords in the realm and had the majority of the Vale now loyal under his rule. Those vassals who were not so willing, such as the Honourable Lord Shycross and Waynwood, had been dealt with. Lord Damien was safely locked deep within the dungeons of Heartsholme, whereas poor Lord Waynwood had been killed in a tragic accident, leaving his young and impressionable son as the new Lord of Iron Oaks. Danes was also still on the Young King's Council, where he could continue to exert his influence in court. This was a chaotic time in the kingdom where men like Danes could cause great change and gain much power, wealth and influence. He had already gathered support to push for the Vale to be allowed to vote for their next ruler, making all the Vale ruled by one house who answered only to the crown itself. With all of their power and influence, as well as some carefully placed gold in the right pockets and silent whispers in the right ears, an election would surely end in the favour of House Corbury. This faction had almost grown large enough to make demands of the crown. Danes had recently arrived home from the Queen's funeral, where he saw the state of the realm clearly. Many lords half-heartedly professed their loyalty, but clearly had their own plots and agendas, such as Lord Greystark and the Ironborn, who yearned for independence. Others were absent entirely, such as Lord Irontide, who had gone on the grand raiding to the east, as well as those who were waging in the war that the late Queen had no power to stop. Later, the bastard regent and true ruler of Andalia had asked Danes to bring together funds to send to the lords and ladies of the realm whose loyalty he doubted. The crown was attempting to bribe lords who should be loyal regardless, a huge sign of weakness in Danes' eyes, and surely many other ambitious lords too. To Danes it seemed Andalia was an ailing beast and the ravens were already circling, and he intended to be the first to feast upon the rotting carcass of House Sevenstar.